Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Jo3.b.1 coming at you live for a few. I had to run my fiance down to an appointment, and so I had some spare time, and I thought, man, why not? I don't go live on YouTube very much because I'm still kind of working out some of the details at the studio. But while I was on, I figured, why not? I'm just out and about hanging out, and I thought if anybody pops in, we can chat a little bit about some of the Black Series releases, reveals, whatever's on your heart and mind about Star Wars or really anything else. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well today. We'll hang out here for, I don't know, maybe like 15 or 20 minutes, see how it goes, you know, while I'm waiting on my fiance to come back from or come out from her appointment. I don't get to hang out with you guys live, and I don't do a lot of live streaming these days, so, kind of working on changing that. But, hope everybody's doing well. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I mentioned it in my review of the set, but the whole rollout of the SDCC exclusive Black Series set, which, obviously I've been posting a lot of videos and stuff on YouTube from my unboxing and review of that set to like some of the breakdowns or smaller clips and stuff. I've been posting that for you guys, which, I hope you guys like. I'm not necessarily trying to be, I'm not a great toy reviewer. It's not I might miss some of the details, but I am really good at showing off the figures and like what they can do a little bit and like showing my enthusiasm. So I hope that counts for something, y'all. But I figured while I was hanging out here we could chat about that SDCC rollout. So um I know that a lot of people have been upset, since it released, and there's been a lot of people that really wanted to get a hold of that Anakin and Obi-Wan Mustafar set. And I will say that was a crazy rollout. That was a crazy rollout. Hey, Adeline Graham, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you joining the live stream. But that was a crazy rollout. It was kind of tough, as smooth as the Ronin rollout was. That thing went really well. I was talking about that with some friends and group chat, and it was kind of crazy how smooth and how easy that the Ronin rollout was, and how wild the SDCC exclusive rollout was for the Anakin and Obi-Wan set. So, hey, how's it going, David? Appreciate you joining the live. And if you're joining, man, and you're new around this space, do consider, showing some love. But and now we had this situation where it was like, they had it available for premium members to order on Pulse at first, and then an hour later it was supposed to be available for the general public, and then it went live for premium members, and the thing seemed to sold out in like, you know, 50 seconds, a minute, like the most boring the most boring thing ever, huh, Adeline? Well, I'm sorry about that. I'm waiting for my fiance to get out of a doctor's appointment, which is why I'm here. I figured we could chat a little bit about some of the reveals from SDCC. But it was kind of crazy to me. It was so glitchy. It was such a really, it just really wasn't a good experience. I actually have premium, and I missed out on the first go round. And thanks to Justin pinging out of the basement whenever it went up the second time, kind of randomly, I jumped in there and was able to get one. But it hasn't been that lucky for everyone. So yeah. And then it went up a third or fourth time, and so a lot of people's experience was like the checkout was glitching and like all this stuff was happening, problems were with checking out. Some people like kept hitting refresh and then ended up getting like multiple orders and like it was crazy. And like with the Ronin set, like that was going on from Celebration Japan, you had basically here people in the States were able to get it the same weekend that Celebration was going on, while people were getting it in hand at Celebration. So it was crazy. Oh, what's your question, Adeline? Go ahead. What's your question? But it was yeah. I'm interested to see if this Anakin and Obi-Wan Mustafar set goes back up for pre-order for a lot of the people that missed out. It'd be interesting if it didn't. Like, that'd be really interesting. Oh, hey, Augustine and KJ, appreciate you joining the live stream. I see we got 25 people in the live. We appreciate y'all joining. It really means a lot to me. Much love to everybody. May the force be with you. Um, but I'm really interested to see if this set goes back up for pre-order, and honestly feel like it would be crazy if it didn't. But yeah, I don't know. What's that? I have glasses, the white, but it won't. I'm not sure if I understand your question, Adeline. I'm sorry. And hello, Cam Plays. Appreciate you joining the live stream. I'm not the brightest sprinkle on the cake, Adeline, so it's probably a me problem. I have a hard time. Yeah. But yeah, I think this would be the first convention exclusive from the Black Series if they don't, set up a pre-order for it, which I would expect come September, folks. You guys will be able to get a pre-order on it. But if they don't do that, it'll be the first true convention exclusive from the Black Series in a long time. I mean, 2018, I think, maybe 2019. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see, man. And it was crazy how rough that rollout was, how many people were frustrated. I mean, there were comment sections that looked like war zones. People were just like going at it. But yeah, any of you guys ever attend any of the big conventions or ever make it to Star Wars Celebration? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear about it. Oh, and if you got this Anakin and Obi-Wan set I'm talking about from SDCC, I'd love to hear about that too. But yeah, the figures in that set are really nice. I did a review video on it, of course, but the figures on that video are really, I mean, in the set are really nice. I mean, they completely redid Anakin, they completely redid Obi-Wan, and they pose really easily. I'm not the greatest at like posing action figures, and they pretty much pose themselves, so it's pretty crazy. And hello everybody in the chat. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate everybody. I'll probably hang out here for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and we'll see what happens. Did I not say hi, Adeline? I apologize. I thought I did. But anyways, guys, the other interesting thing from SDCC was the reveal of the Empire Strikes Back. I guess it wasn't revealed there. The Empire Strikes Back set, yeah, it was. That thing was pretty sick, man, and that one's definitely already on pre-order. You've got the Bespin Luke, and you have Darth Vader. The Luke is all new, I believe, and then you have all these kind of Dio pieces and stuff in the set as well. So that one's going to be nice, and it's cool to see Hasbro kind of going in this direction with these scenes or vignette sets, as they're calling it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. But yeah. Man, those comment sections, man, over that SDCC set were crazy. And from what I understand, there was, at San Diego Comic Con, they were allowing people to buy like 4 and 5 of those sets at a time. Where on the on the website it was only two, and from what I also heard, there was a like 2,500 or so left over from the con, and that's what all of us got on that Pulse order whenever they dropped it. So, um, but as fast as that thing sold out, I mean, if I'm Hasbro, if I'm Baron von Hasbro, I'm picking up the when I see all that stuff sell out like that, I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling the plants or whatever it is that they got to do, and I'm saying, hey, manufacture about 5,500 more of these, or 10,000 more of these, and let's get them out to the people because they flew off the shelf. Um, you know, I don't know. Oh, and then what else do we see? We saw a new Asajj Ventress coming out. We've got some really nice blacks of the new Django they released. So, I mean, that'll be nice. That'll be really nice. But yeah, I just figured I'd jump on here for a few guys, and while I was waiting on my fiance to get out of this doctor's appointment, and the firestorm of that SDCC Battle of Mustafar, 2 pack with Anakin and Obi-Wan is just it's just an interesting topic. I mean, even still, people in my comments on my review video were like telling me like, "Hey, I really don't think this thing is coming back, and I really just don't see them, putting out more of these." And you know, I don't, either way, whatever happens, I was able to get my set, but on the same token, I just would be completely shocked. I'd be shocked. But the single release of those figures are coming out, are going to hit the main line here very soon. So, we'll still be able to get an Anakin and Obi-Wan all new for the shelves, but like I said, just kind of surprising. We haven't seen that pre-order link hit yet. But everybody a lot of the content creators I follow all seem pretty confident that it'll bounce back, and I mean their logic tracks based on how they've done the convention exclusives over the last, you know, year or so. But I mean year or so since like 2018. Oh, but I'm wondering, you guys, how do you feel about this? So this is something I've also been weighing out. Do you like the idea of sets like that being scarce and hard to get, um, or do you prefer that they make sets like that widely available, like the Star Killer set when it came out, or some of the other ones where they just, they have so many of them that they end up going on clearance, etc., etc. You know, or like the what was it, the Thrawn con exclusive set, or like the Boba and Han one, or like those ones that were like limited to the cons and like they're really more hard to get. Like, do you prefer that? Do you prefer to have that scarcity, that rarity, um, or like with the Ronin, for instance, it's still available and it goes up on sale occasionally now, for that black and white Ronin with the wired cape and stuff in the celebration exclusive packaging, or those may be widely available, or do you prefer the kind of more, what seems like the more scarce style where you're limited, like maybe 5,000 or 10,000 gets made and that's it. I think that's a, like, I collect for the enjoyment of posing the figures and putting them on the shelf, and then taking them down and rearranging them, or putting together little scenes, or having different homages and like rearranging and stuff like that. So I collect for different reasons. I don't collect for value. That's another whole another topic. A lot of people collect, for the investment, for the value, for the resale, for being able to take those figures and like hopes that 10 or 15 years later they're going to be able to put a down payment on a house or something. And like I get that too. Like I know that that's a thing, but for me, and I don't want to come across like I'm ungrateful for having my life, but like when I was a kid, I really didn't have a lot. I didn't have nothing, so we grew up poor. My parents ran a homeless shelter that ran off of donations. We didn't have anything. So like I don't have this nostalgia for like 80s and 90s toys. I have nostalgia for the properties that the toys are from, like Star Wars and others. And I collect Star Wars, and I collect Black Series almost exclusively because I like to be able to mess with the figures, and because I also understand, I'm buying a $25 figure. This thing more than likely isn't going to appreciate it largely in value, so opening these things is not a big deal, and but I get people, in my comments sometimes like, why'd you open that, bro? Or that card looks so good, bro. And like, I get it, I get it. It does. They do look really nice. And I'm always tempted to like have extras so I can hang some stuff on the shelves. But to be honest with you, my studio, where, I do all my music and creative stuff, it's actually where I live. I live in the studio. There's just not a lot of room to have like all this extra stuff. Like if it were up to me, I'd probably have, vintage collection and Black Series and probably some Marvel Legends and probably some, figures from all sorts of properties I like. Um, you know, but the Black Series kind of gives me that happy medium of like price, size, detail, articulation, and all that. And I don't have to feel bad about opening the figures, like because since the line's inception, I think that the value, if you owned the entire line and you bought every single figure from its release at retail price up to now, that your collection would have appreciated in value by about $100, like $90. So it's not like the same as collecting, something with an end point, like the Kenner line or some of these other toy lines that might have a stopping point, which does nothing but increase in value. So for me, it's just about the enjoyment of getting to mess with the toys and kind of recreate these scenes and having that kind of extra added connection to Star Wars, which is one of my favorite properties. But I didn't want to take up too much of your time, guys. I just really popped on here to chat for a few. Man, we had a nice little group of people in here for a little while. Jumped up to about 35 or 40 people. That's pretty good for your boy, man. I'm really grateful for everybody that dropped by. It means a lot to me. And I'm gonna be. I've got a lot of stuff working for the channel right now, guys. So you're gonna start seeing some increases in certain content. Again, more Star Wars stuff. Children of the Trials podcast coming. Children of the Trials, my album coming. Like all that stuff's coming. Got I've got some guest spots I want to do too. Have some people on, chat with them. You know, been chatting with some other folks to be joining them on their shows. I don't want to blow up their spot, but I've been invited to be on some other stuff now. So y'all just stay tuned, man, and show some love. This thing will continue to grow, and we'll be able to continue to use this vehicle of Star Wars and Jedi hip hop, as I call it, uh, to make a difference. One person, one little situation, one thing at a time. So, but yeah, thanks anybody who stopped by for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's been your boy Jo3.b.1, the Hip Hop Jedi. If you're new around here, do consider hitting that like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you're new, because all that stuff goes a long way to helping the channel grow, to helping to motivate me to keep bringing you more content. And I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful to be here and grateful for all of you. So anyways, we'll see y'all later. Much love. May the force be with you. Y'all have a great day.